Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is very late June 2024. We're looking at the Mississippi River, watching a barge go down it, and I just wanted to put up a very quick 5 minute video about pretty much New Madrid, Missouri, and the Kentucky Bend and Island Number 10. This little corner of kind of southern Illinois, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, this to me is one area that is just packed with some very interesting history. And if you enjoy history, if you enjoy going to history museums and historic markers and not being bothered by other people, this is the place to go. Man, we barely saw anybody while we were out in this area. By the way, we're looking at the Mississippi River over here to my right of where we're looking. I believe in that area is where Island Number 10 once was. And there was a Civil War battle there, Confederate fortification, Union ships attacking, and that island no longer exists. There is a historic marker, I believe in Tipton or near Tipton, Tennessee, and I'll put up a couple pictures of that in a moment. We took the ferry over from Hickman to New Madrid, and it's a small town, and other than at the museum, I don't think we saw another person. Very, very nice little town, and that museum is incredible. It's small, but it's packed. Here's a few things we saw at the museum relating to the Civil War. Of course, the New Madrid earthquakes, 1811, 1812 primarily, influenced a whole lot of stuff. Pretty much created the Reelfoot Lake area. I'll put up another video about that. And it created, I guess you could say it created the Kentucky Bend. If you look at a map of Kentucky, look at the very southwesternmost point. If you have a big map, you'll see that there's almost like a little period that reaches out, and it's part of Kentucky, but you cannot get there unless you dip down into Tennessee, then come back up. And that's thanks to the Mississippi River. And it's very interesting. And my dad and I drove out there about 10 years ago, and we have bragging rights. And I have yet to meet anybody else who's physically been to the Kentucky Bend. It's again, it's just out in the middle of nowhere. Saw some historic markers about Island Number 10, and like I said, there is a monument to it. Tiptonville, Tennessee, is the town basically just south of the Kentucky Bend, so you can go there. I think they handle, I believe there's 18 residents that actually live in the Kentucky Bend. Their mail is handled by Tiptonville, Tennessee. I believe any sort of services they might need would be handled by Tiptonville, Tennessee. So again, you've got this really weird area where you had the New Madrid earthquakes, and that created the Kentucky Bend, Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee, and Island Number 10, Civil War battle site that has disappeared. You've got all this just weird history. I've always wondered, I wonder if divers ever go out and try to explore what's left of Island Number 10. I believe these are some pictures from 2014, and I could be wrong, but looking at the Kentucky Bend and Island Number 10 area. And this is at the Kentucky Bend. There's a Tennessee sign, and then right across the road is the Welcome to Kentucky sign. Of course, you've got to stop and get your photo ops there, because it's just a very obscure little anomaly that exists. This area, southern Illinois, often called Little Egypt, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, there's so much weirdness going on here. Of course, you've got the Bell Witch legend, the Hopkinsville Goblins, Edgar Casey. There's so much in this area that's just weird, and you have weird history. Here's the little monument to Island Number 10. Again, I took this picture, I believe, in 2014, but it gives you a little bit of information about Island Number 10. Have you been out to the Kentucky Bend? Do you live in that area? I would love to hear from some people that live in this area. It's just such an obscure little neck of the woods, and I've been out there twice now, and I'm pretty proud of that. But it's definitely an area to go to, so you have bragging rights and you can say that you went out and saw what's left of Island Number 10, the Kentucky Bend, and New Madrid.